Not joking. There was not a single night that we did not try to find this guy, follow him around, stake out and see if where he was going. We literally thought that we were going to catch a murderer. Fuck the rules. Hey everyone, I'm back with a new video, obviously. My name's Ashlyn, and this is going to be a story time about the time I thought I was being stalked for like 2.5 months during the summertime, like this past summer. So, anyways, yeah. So, pretty much this story is over like time lapse of 3 months. So, it might be all over the place. Like, I want it to make sense, but like my mind is like, you know, like not, I don't know. I don't make sense a lot of the time. Anyways, I'm getting distracted and I just found 2 quarters. So, also, my dog keeps barking, so she barks again. I'm sorry, I can't stop her. She's blind. She sees whatever she wants. And also, I have 1 nail on, so don't comment about that. It was the summer after my senior year, and I was 18. I was coming home every night because it was summertime. I was coming home from friends' houses, my mom's house, just pretty much anywhere I went, around 2 to 3 in the morning. You know, it was June. Nothing was really happening, nothing crazy. And then finally, I remember this one distinct night. This is when it all started. So I came home from my mom's house. It was around 2:50 in the morning. And I was pulling down the main street of my town.
And I looked down my road because you can see my house from the main road. You can see like my driveway, there's a car running in my driveway, you can see it.
And I looked down there and there's a car in my driveway at 2:50 in the morning with its lights on. So I was like, this is so weird. So I pulled down the road and decided that I wasn't going to pull into my house. I was just going to drive by, see who it was, you know, make like a loop around like the block, come back. So that's exactly what I did. And the closer I got to my house, I realized that this person wasn't in my house. It was in my neighbor's house. Or my neighbor's driveway. Whatever. So I was like, okay, maybe it's family. So the closer I get to this car, I realize it's the most busted up car ever. No taillight. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but your car's a mess, dude. Yeah, no back taillight. Sounded like it had no muffler. It was the loudest freaking car ever. And also, it like the paint was peeling off. It was a pretty distinct car. Like, I literally could point it out anywhere. Oh my god. So that night, I went around the block, got to the stop sign, went around the block, came back, and the car was gone. And I thought that was kind of weird because, like, it was the loudest car ever. I didn't even hear it leave. And I was like, okay, like, if I could hear it running in the driveway, you would think I could hear it pull out of the driveway and leave. I was only, like, a road over. So I don't know where he went. I was like, okay, whatever. That's really weird. So I park my car and run inside, like, sprint inside. I was so scared. I lock all the doors, all the windows, and I go to bed. For a while, nothing happened after that. So I thought it was just some weird guy, and it still like freaked me out. I still thought about it, but I mean, it was nothing. Until like a week later, I was laying in bed and it was like 3 in the morning and I heard the car drive by. And so my window is right here. Well, actually my bed was over on this side of my room. I'm not going to show you because my room's a mess. But my window's obviously still here. Your windows don't move. Okay. But the way my bed was facing, I could see the light through the window. My neighbor's house is right here. And he pulled into this neighbor's house. Not this one anymore. This one. And he sat there. So I kind of got up and I peeked out the side of my curtains and it was the same car. So I knew at that point that like it wasn't just a one-time thing. And this was like really weird and I wanted to check it out. Finally, he pulled out of the driveway. And he left, and I just went back to bed because, like, I was so tired. I don't know what I was getting myself into, you know what I mean?
Like, I didn't want to, like, get freaking kidnapped or anything.
Again, nothing happened. And I might have just been asleep when he did, like, come around. But for a good 2 weeks, everything was fine. We were at a friend's house, and I came home around 2:30, 2:40 in the morning.
And I didn't have a car at this friend's house, and I got a ride with somebody else, and then somebody else took me home. So
He also lived in my town. Yeah, he took me home because he didn't live far from me. And my dog keeps barking. I don't know why. Anyways, I was like, hey, I need to tell you something. He was like, okay. And I was like, I'm being stalked. I was like, there's this guy in this weird car, like he has no taillight, and he's stalking me, and it's around this time. So he was like, okay, like, you know, that's kind of weird. And once I saw nobody else was really like freaked out about it, I wasn't that freaked out. Like, I tried to like keep calm. So I was like, you know what, you're right. It's probably just some weird guy like taking a drive at 3 in the morning and pulls around in people's driveways. I don't know, okay? I try to see the best in people. Okay, we get to my house and he drops me off. And I get in my house and I have a text from him. So I open it up and he was like, I saw the car. And I was like, you're joking me. Like, he's just trying to like pull my leg. Like, he's like, no, I saw it. The exact same car that you described. And he's like, I'm pretty sure it's going to pull down your road. So I sat outside and I watched it. And he did the same thing, except it was this neighbor's, not this one. And he pulled into their house, pulled out, drove away.
I was like, what is this guy doing? Like, what do you mean?
So finally, I let it go for a good, maybe like July. I'd still talked about it, but like not as much. Like, I just forgot about it. I was like, okay, this guy's weird. Like, I'm just going to let him do his thing. I'm not going to push it. Like, you know, July comes around and I'm hanging out with this other friend really frequently. We're going out every night, like going to get food, just doing like literally nothing, driving around, having fun. Yeah, I pick her up and we go and get food. And, you know, we're just talking, whatever, chilling out, listen to music, and we get back into my town. And we're driving. It's like 2:45 in the morning. And I hear it like out of my window because it's summertime, my window's down. And I was like, do you hear that? And she was like, yeah. I was like, you know, that's kind of weird. I wonder if it's the car. She's like, what car? And I was like, I haven't even told you yet. So I tell her this story, and to her, she's the same as me. Like, we're like, ooh, like, that's kind of creepy. Like, the littlest things creep us out, and like, we want to investigate them immediately. So she's like, do you want to see who he is? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I kind of let it go. Like, yes. So we wait on my porch, and we hear him on the other side of town. And we get out of my car, and we wait on the porch. And it was pitch black. Like, he couldn't see us. We were on the porch steps, or like on my rocking chairs on the porch. And he finally comes around, pulls into my neighbor's yard, and my nose itches. Okay. Anyways.
My nose itches so bad.
Okay, so we're sitting on my porch. It's pitch black out. He literally can't see us. And he finally pulls into my neighbor's driveway. And I was like, that's him. Like, isn't this creepy? Like, I told you about the taillight. And she was like, yeah, this is really weird. Like, I don't know, just like, who does this? So she's like, he pulls away. And she's like, do you want to follow him? And I was like, yes, I do. So we jump in my car and we go the other way. So like, he went down the road this way, we went this way, and we were going to try to cut him off. So when we went back around this way,
My nose itches and it's my nose ring.
yeah, we were planning to cut him off, and he disappeared.
So we were like, what? Where is this guy going?
So finally we drive around town and we find him again, and he was at the light in the middle of our town. So we go this way, and we're at the light here, and he's at the light here. And the light for him turns green first, so he goes.
And my nose itches so bad. Oh my god. There's something wrong with me.
And literally we're behind him. Like, we know it's him because of the tail light, obviously. And we follow him all the way out of town. But we like start to notice that he's not really going anywhere crazy, so we kind of give up and we go back to my house. And this consumed my July, the whole month of July. Me and this specific friend, I'd pick her up every night and we'd go follow this guy around. And also, I forgot to tell you, I would have nightmares. There's a specific nightmare I had that I got invited to this party, like graduation party, and someone told me to go behind the barn. And when I went behind the barn, it was some guy in that car, and he like chloroformed me and like knocked me out, and I woke up in an attic and like with all my hands tied up. Like, I just want to address that I said all my hands tied together as if I don't only have 2 hands.
Oh, my freaking nose will not stop itching.
So finally, July goes by, and this is every night for us. We're telling people about it. We're constantly talking about it, constantly following him, constantly just staking out on my porch, seeing where he goes, blah, blah, blah. And then it comes to August, and I go to vacation. And I come back, and, you know,
I was like, I kind of forgot about it.
So finally, my friend texts me one night, same friend, and she's like, has anything happened? And I was like, no, you know, like, I think it's over with. He hasn't came by. This was at like 1 in the morning when she texted me. I was like, he hasn't come by. You know, like, summer's over. I started, like, college. You know, like, I was about to start a new job. I was like, I was kind of over it. So that was at 1 in the morning. 3 in the morning rolls around. And he pulls up. And I hear him, because he can sound like he has no muffler. And I call my friend, and I'm like, get ready, like, we're going. Pretty sure I picked her up. Pretty sure we followed him around. That was the last night I ever followed him. We sat outside of her house, and we waited to see if he would come by her house. He never did. This was a solid 2.5 months of just me being so scared. Me, like, following this guy around. So this was the last night.
When we followed him, it was like August. I had a Snapchat from this night. I don't know what night it was. I have to look. I'll edit that in.
So, but this was the last night that I followed this guy around. A couple nights after I got home from vacation. And I get home the next night, or like that night, and I go to bed. We found nothing, same thing. Like, it just like, God, I'm so stupid. So the next morning, I finally decide, it's a Saturday morning, I finally decide to tell my dad. I think it was a Saturday, maybe it was a Sunday. It was probably a Sunday, because I think we got home on a Friday, or a Monday. Oh my God, I can't even remember what day it was. And I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday, because he was like reading the paper, I don't know, or watching TV, who knows. So I came out and I said, Dad, like, for the past 2 months, me and my friend have been following this guy that is stalking us. I showed him all the receipts, and like, you know, I kind of saw on his face, he was like, man, like, you know, you could have told me this sooner. Like, I thought he was gonna just hug me and be like, I'm so glad that you're okay and you're like not dead, and we'll find out who this is together. We'll call the police, we'll investigate. He looks at me straight in the eyes, and he said,
what does this car look like?
And I told him, I said, it's an old, red, beaten down car with, and I stopped. And he says,
With one taillight?
my eyes and my heart sank. And he starts laughing. And I'm like, why are you laughing? This isn't funny. He's been stalking us for 2 months. I'm just now coming to you. Like, I feel safe talking about it now. Like, I'm so scared. Like, I can't even go to sleep. He looks at me and says,
Ashlyn? That's the news guy.
that throws out the newspaper. For 2 months, I was stalking the newspaper guy. 2 months!
2 whole goddamn months!
I didn't get sleep because of this guy. I was up until 4 a.m. following this guy's car. I thought he was a stalker. I was the one stalking this poor dude. people that I was being stalked. Like, how idiotic. Why didn't I just tell my dad sooner? I don't know. So, yeah. That's pretty much the story about how I thought I was being stalked, but actually I was the stalker, and I stalked the Daily News guy. Anyways, if you enjoyed that, or if you want to watch more in the future, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.